Hello guys, in this video we'll have a look at 9 PHP superglobals, and in brief I will just go through of them, and in brief I will explain you what these superglobals do in PHP, but with examples on each of them we will work in further videos. But for now I will just show you what are these superglobals, and let's start with first one, which is superglobals. They are basically global variables which are predefined variables, global variables in PHP, which you can use in your scripts and which are actually accessible on all scope of your PHP scripts. So let's start with first one, and first one is $_env. And this is environment superglobal, which allows you to which actually stores environment variables in associative array, and we will have a look at it, like I mentioned before, as well in further tutorials. And next one is variable globals. We simply write $, and with capital letters we will write globals. Okay, and these globals allows or stores all global variables which are in your scripts. For example, if you we will talk about scopes of variables as well, but there is global variables which are defined outside the scope, which are defined actually not in functions and so on. So these global variables are all in array, are stored in these globals variable, and we can access them actually by using these globals super global variable. Then next one would be the variable underscore session. Okay, session. And this, oh sorry, this is with capital letters, session. Okay, and this session variable we will use for creating login details, for user registrations, for creating sessions for our users. And session variable is used for creating sessions, like it says. And for example, if you know, when you are creating logging system or user registration systems, and when user logs into your website, he has some session for that particular website, and when this session is created, then this means that he is directed to his profile, or he is allowed to some particular date on your website. And then there is another one variable which is similar, like and I will tell you the difference. This is cookie. Okay, again I wrote it with two O's, cookie. Okay, and this cookie variable, it allows you to access the through HTTP request. Cookie variable or super global variable allows you to access cookies which are saved on user's computer through HTTP request. But the difference between session and cookie is that you can store cookies, and cookies can be stored on user's computer, where with session works only at that time when a particular browser is open. When user, for example, opens his browser or opens from his browser your website, he, for example, logs into your website. That creates session, and you can use this session variable to create session for that particular login. Okay, but whenever he will close his browser and he will try to open it again, that session will be lost, and if he closes his computer, that session will be lost. So session variable is only for one connection, but cookies allows us to store some cookie. For example, if we have stored some cookies on user's computer, then whenever he comes in next time, if that cookie is still active, we can access it via cookies, and that's pretty much what cookies mean. And then there is variable underscore request. Okay, and this allows us to collect data from HTML forms, and we will be looking at HTML forms. However, we will not be using this request, but I will show you how you can use this request as well. So underscore post. This is another one variable which we will use for collecting data from HTML forms, and this is similar to request variable, but we will use post because there is post and get method, which are default HTTP request methods or hypertext transfer protocol HT methods, and that's why we will be using post. But post and request are pretty much the same super globals, and they allow us to collect data from HTML forms. If you know, we in simple HTML we can create just forms, but in forms we can add names. To each input field we can add name, and whenever user clicks, for example, submit button with this request or post, from that browser we can get those field name, field values, whatever user has entered in that form. Because with simple HTML, as you know, you can't get any data, you can't store any data, and you can't send it to database or anything like that. So with these requests and post method super globals, we can access that data, store it, and do pretty much whatever we want with that data, send it to database, and so on and so forth. But when we will start talking about HTML forms, I will explain you this in depth and in detail how we can do it. Then there is another variable underscore, which is get, and this is another super global which allows us to get data from HTML forms. But the difference between post and request is that get is not secure for getting data from forms, because all data if you use get method for submitting or validating your forms, HTML forms, then all data will get displayed in URL as well. So as get is not only for form validation, but we can create our own links, and we can create our own link variables, which I will show you as well how we can do. And when, depending on what variable is added to current link, we can do some action on our page. So this is pretty much what get is used for, and get is used more for example, for search forms. If you would go to Google, and for example, let's go to Google, I will show you some, let's google.com, for example, I will show you some get variable. As you see here is variable, which is this question mark that actually declares variable, and it declares variable, in this case gvc whatever underscore rd, and it gives or stores value in that variable, which would be like with this equal sign. As you know, with equal sign we assign values or we add values into variable, and it stores this cr comma ssl, and then it creates another variable after this. And for example, if we would search cars, okay, and we click enter, you see that here at the end it has value cars, which is stored in something, and it is stored actually in variable, as you see, which is created with this question mark, and it created variable, and it stored created this all request, and at the end we just have these cars. So pretty much that all this we can get with get super global. But when it comes to it, and when I will show you how to do all these things, I will show you how we can get those values from variables and how we can get values from forms by using get method and get super global. So next one is files, $_ files, and this, as you already understand, allows us to work with different files. It allows us to get files from users, it allows us to store files in our folders or directories of our website, or it allows us to create for user, so user can download some files from our website if we want, and so on and so forth. Pretty much files allow us to get data from all files, or even if user uploads files by using our HTML form, we can get all data about that particular file, like current file path and file name and so on and so forth. But when we will start working with files, I will show you exactly what I mean and how we can do it. But Here from this video you just understand that these files, and it is widely used, and it is only thing in PHP used to get and store and work with files, with images, with uploads, and so on and so forth. With files we simply use these superglobal files. Server, another superglobal, which is variable underscore server. Okay, and this server superglobal allows us to get different data about server we are working on. For example, it would allow us to get the version of PHP which we are working on, and I will show you as well as this superglobal and how it works. So yes guys, this is superglobals, 9 superglobals which we use in PHP, and in further tutorials or further videos I will show you. In this video I just wanted to show you all of them so you know which are they, and there is no more or no less, there are only these 9. So in this video you know what variables exist, and further videos I will show you each of them and how we can work on, and some examples how you can use these in your scripts and in your programs, and whenever it comes when you will need it you will be able to use them, and you will know what exactly that particular superglobal variable is doing. And they are called superglobals. Note that they are not globals, they are superglobals. They are known as superglobals in PHP. They are simply global variables because they actually allow you to access global scope, and we will talk about scope as well. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and share this video, like this video, leave a comment if you have any questions, and see you in my other videos.